Hello YouTube and welcome to our next war recap video against Danish Vikings. This is a bit of a quick recording. Everything's at double speed because I realized just before a new war that I hadn't recorded this video, so everything's going to be double speed. This is their attacks on our bases, so all our lower bases triples, but mostly missed on the Town Hall 9s. We got 2s on their 10s and 11s, one of their 9s slipped through the cracks, but we 3-starred everything else. So good job to the team, some great attacks, and we're going to kick it off with a Town Hall 9 triple by yours truly, which didn't quite go according to plan, but you get that sometimes. So kick it off with a Queen Walk. It's really a 9.5 because there's no Infernos on this base. Just trying to break in and get a few of the defences in the lower part of the base, so I can funnel the Valks in through the top and take out the rest. But the Queen Walk didn't quite go according to plan because I should have dropped a Rage here, but instead I opted to use her ability, which means I didn't have her ability when that Tesla popped up and the enemy Archer Queen came in, and I was too slow on my Rage spell. So I kind of wasted a spell and lost my Archer Queen, and I thought that's, I have a bad habit of hitting my Archer Queen ability too late. So, but didn't work out too badly. Jump spell in for the Valks. They're running through, trashing the base. King in behind. They eventually take care of the Arch Queen that my Queen didn't, and just some hogs for the back end to take out those few defences. Spread out the hogs, just try and take out the defences as quickly as possible, and the next thing you know, it was all looking pretty good, which I was quite pleased about given how the early part of the raid had gone. But you get lucky sometimes, and not having Inferno has made a huge help. So there we go, first triple, and a bit of a rescue effort given how it started off. But you get that. Coming up next, we've got Jason dipping down on a Town Hall 9 and doing it beautifully. Coming in with Go Wipe and back end hog. So he just opens up a section of the base here, and given the base layout, he's opened up pretty much access to the whole base with 4 earthquake spells. So that's quite nice. One of his golems does wander off because of that outside cannon and kind of gets stuck on that wall a little bit, but it does also lure the CC, so that's not bad. This was a late switch. I think he'd planned to hit a Town Hall 10, and I think elected to hit a Town Hall 9 and get the triple instead, so he did have a freeze up his sleeve, but no matter, works out very nicely for him, just working his way gradually from one side of the base to the other, and very methodical with the Go Wipe, and very little risk of anything going wrong. You've got so much health with the health of those max Pekkers running around, and the golems tanking for them as well. So he's still got a couple of Pekka up. He's got his king. He's got archers starting the clean-up process at the top, and then there just aren't enough attacks left. Really nice move to use a few spare wall breakers to open up that compartment there, and give his Pekka and king access into those last couple of defences, and it does some of his troops starting to dwindle a little bit here, but he's got plenty enough in the bag to get through, and that Pekka is just going to help with the Val get through that wall in no trouble at all, and gets the 3. Very nicely done, Jace. Lovely attack, and bringing it to the game. And up next we've got Prodigy with another Town Hall 10 dip, this time with the Valks. So it brings in a couple of golems, a nice spread on his wizards just to clear out all the trash, a couple of wall breakers, lovely funnel built there. Does get a couple spread. That's just because the buildings inside that wall went down before the gold storage on the outside, but no matter, he's got a nice heal spell for his Valks. A couple of wizards from the funnel came in and cleaned up the dragon. Nice jump heal combo with a back end rage, and the next thing you know, his Valks have run from one side of the base to the other and completely caught it out. There's pretty much nothing left at all. He's got his king and his queen. He's got his queen's ability up his sleeve. He's got half a dozen or more Valks. One side he's got a couple of Valks on the other side, and now he's just dropped his remaining few archers. And the troops he's got left aren't going to have any trouble at all burning through that wall and then taking out what's left in the compartment. And he's still didn't bother with his queen's ability. Why would you? Lovely attack. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, who's next? We've got Jace coming in. So 6-star war from Jace. Coming in style. Okay, so it opens up the base, and there is nicely placed earthquake spells there, because there is a little hook there that he has actually opened up a clear entry point into the base. A couple of wall breakers on the far side just to give him access to the enemy queen, and a couple more defences. So the queen is down, that makes it even safer for the rest of his troops. He's got his queen taking out the dragon there. There's just troops all over the base. He's got hogs at the top. Might have got better value if he dropped his hogs with the rest of his troops, just so the golems were tanking for his hogs, but no big deal. Works out for him very nicely, and golems doing what golems tend to do, which is just banging on walls. It's a bad habit they've got. The queen used to do that, but she's a bit brighter these days. And he's got a really nice setup here. So he's got Pekka up front with his king distracting all the defences, whilst his archer queen and a bunch of wizards run behind. He's even got a Valk running at the top, so he's just completely overpowered the base. Lovely attack. Real pleasure to watch that one. Okay. Coming up next, we've got JJ coming in with some Town Hall 9 on Town Hall 9 action, and we've got a Govarho attack. So more earthquakes opening up the base. Nice spread on his wizard. I like how he's left a gap in the middle there, so he didn't bother with wizards for that bit, because you don't need to. Your Valks are more than capable of taking those out on their way in if you've cleaned up the left and the right side of their entry point with wizards. So a rage spell on the entry and a heal spell just to keep them up as they burn their way through the first wall. There are some pretty heavy walls in this base, but he does lose a few of his Valks there to that wizard tower, but he's got the hogs and he's got his king and queen, and the Valks have done enough of a job on the base to ensure the 3-star. It's just a matter of time. There's only one defense left, and he's got troops spread around the base, so it's a very clean attack, and just job done. What else is there to say? He came in, he saw the base, he designed his attack, and then he wrecked the base. So just nice little touch. The golem takes out the remaining building for the 3-star, so that's pretty nice. Always enjoy seeing that, because you don't see golems taking out bases very often. And we've got Plan Jenny coming in against their number 10 Popadoc, and again a few wizards, nice golem, nice use of the Valks to clean up the trash on the way in. Beautiful placement on the jump spell. Town Hall 9, you can afford to spread your Valks out like this, particularly when they're going to refocus back in again. I find it less productive to do that at Town Hall 10, because the bases are a little bit bigger and it's a bit more dangerous for your Valks to spread out, because there's more risk of them running into Infernos and other nasty things. But Town Hall 9, you just get even more value for your Valks when you do that, particularly if you've got a healthy bunch of them like Jenny had here. And the next thing you know, she's just completely wrecked the base. So there's Valks to the left, Valks to the right. The King's running up the top to take out what's probably a builder's hut. And just I love that sprint coming back in from the top of the screen going, no, wait, I am going to get the last hit. Beautiful attack. Just, half a force left over or something silly like that. There's loads of spare troops. Alrighty, and now we've got Faye coming in on their number 12. So hitting our mirrors here. Nice lure of the CC with the poison spell and just a few barbs. And this technique works really nicely at Town Hall 8 and above to take out CC troops. You can combine the barb drop with a wizard or two. It just speeds things up a little bit, but there's no real need. It gets the job done perfectly nicely with the troops with the method that he used. Nice big funnel for his Valks, straight in, jump spell before they take out the buildings in the compartment they run into. That just helps them keep running through the base. They get into the core. It's got a back end jump for them, a heal to keep them up as they run through the core. I do think heals tend to work a bit better than rages at Town Hall 9 for Valks, but or even a combo of each. Or you get less value for heals at Town Hall 10 because of the Infernos, but he's done a lovely job here, just working his way through the base. He's got troops at the top, troops at the bottom, pops both hero abilities. Not that they're in any danger, it was just really to help speed things up a little bit. The Valkyrie just manages to take out, there's 2, take out the final defense and gets the 3. Lovely attack, Faye. Okay, coming up next, we've got God's Gift. GG coming in on number 13. Again, kind of anti-2-star layout on the base, so central town hall, and defence is kind of spread out in a ring. Fairly standard kind of. It's not a standard internet base, but it's a fairly standard anti-2 layout. Gets the CC lure, uses his Arch Queen and a couple of wizards to help take out the dragon, which is always handy because dragons can do a nasty job on your Valks. He's got a rage in the core, and that just disappears. Nice placement on the heal spells there just to keep them up. The low level walls means that his level 4 Valk's going to have no trouble at all going wherever they want to on this base, and a sprinkle in 1 or 2 hogs just to troll Tesla in the corner there, but that's not going to give his Valkyries too much grief at all. I thought people stopped doing that a while ago, but you never know. There you go, kind of old school base design trying to trip people up. But there you go, gets the 3 very, very tidily indeed. Lovely attack. Okay, coming up next we've got Still Dearson coming in on a bit more of an anti-3 layout, so a bit of a mix of bases from these guys. And he's bringing a Queen Walk with his brand new level 25 Arch Queen. I didn't actually work out who it was that won the competition, but there you go. I feel a bit guilty that I've got lots of Town Hall 9s with high level Arch Queens than I do, so I kind of need to get back onto the DE farming, but I'll get around to that at some point, I'm sure. A nice sprinkle of hogs in at the bottom. His Valks have cored the base, and we've got just a smaller number of Valks on this attack, but plenty of hogs. And when I say plenty of hogs, I mean like an absolute ton of hogs. But he's got the heals for them. His Archer Queen has done a fabulous job taking out pretty much the lower quarter, or the right hand, left hand even, quarter of the base. And he's got a ton of hogs left over. He's got wizards sprinkled around the base, just absolutely wrecked it. With it's more of a hog with a few Valks than the other way around. So that's quite nice to see, a bit of variety there. And that's one of the keys to quality attacks and consistent 3-star attacks is tailoring your army to the base, and that's exactly what Syl did here. Saw that it was a good base for hogs and went heavy on the hogs, so top stuff. Okay, and then we've got Major coming in on number 15 with the Valks, and interesting CC with an absolute ton of minions, which can be threatening if you haven't lured them, but his base layout means that it's pretty easy to lure, and minions go down very quickly to a poison spell, so it just makes a nice easy funnel here. A couple of golems. Pre-placement of the jump spell, I quite like that. It just makes sure that your Valks don't ever get distracted to run back out the base. A nice heal in the core whilst the Valks were dealing with the enemy Arch Queen and lots of expos. He's got 2 bunches of Valks running in different parts of the base. They are probably going to meet up here, which would be nice for him. He's got his King and Queen running down one side of the base, a bunch of Valks shielded by that wizard running through the other part of the base. And yeah, there's not much left to see on this attack because it's all done super quick. Yeah, which I think I did mention earlier, because the Valk attacks are so quick. If you are doing a Queen Walk, you can afford to give your Queen a bit longer to walk a bit further around the base, because the rest of the attack is just so fast. Okay, and it's Minor again, back to back, coming in on their number 16, and again slightly different army composition, because that's what the base only one goal on this time, because that's what the base warranted. So good to see people tailoring their armies to the bases, and a couple of barbs just to get the dragon and the loon away from all the defenses, and then a couple more just to keep them in the poison and to 1 wizard. So nice cheap way of dealing with the CC troops, and just eliminates any risk of them doing damage to his Valks. Nice wide funnel. Drops a bunch of Valks. They do run around a little bit, and the reason why they run around there is that the buildings inside the compartment that he'd opened up had been destroyed before the Valks went down, so they had nothing to target and they went somewhere else. But it doesn't matter for him. He's got a few of his Valks in the middle, a few on the outside, and that's actually working out quite nicely for him. So he's coring the base and doing cleanup around the outside at the same time, which is super efficient. But Major likes to do things as efficiently as possible, and he's doing a sensational job on this one. And the next thing you know, it's game over. It's just overpowered the base, and he's still got 8, 9 Valkyries up the top there, so no danger at all of anything other than 3 stars. Lovely, lovely attack. Okay, coming up next we've got Jib coming in on number 17. Kind of slightly anti 3-star design with a hole in the base. Always worth looking out for one of those. It just makes for a dead easy lure. Drops double poison down, so that dragon is going absolutely nowhere. And a couple of wizards, and the next thing you know, it's job done. And he comes in at the upper part of the base with his main kill squad and a bunch of Valkyries. He does get a little bit of a split on his Valks, but I don't think that matters too much. And they just burn straight through that wall to get to the Archer Queen. Another heal keeps them up as they keep tearing their way through these skull walls and all the defences on the far side of them. He's got several groups of Valks, several groups of wizards. He's got his Archer Queen, his Barbarian King. There's the base is just evaporating as the raid goes on, and the next thing he's got, look at the size of the army that's left over. It's just absolutely smashed it. Just sensational, super attack, and super fast. Okay, and now we've got Eva coming in on their number 18 with a dragon attack, mass dragon. So this is Town Hall 9 dipping down onto Town Hall 8, and Eva's done a great job of remembering to take out the corner buildings first before the rest of the attack. So well done, and just avoid your dragons have to run back around the corners of the base and possibly run out of time. So it's always worth checking the corners. It's more prevalent at Town Hall 8 than Town Hall 9, but it is always worth checking. You never know what people try and squeeze away in corners, but Eve's just kind of just strolling her way across the base with the dragons. Really, there's not really much threat to the attack once you've taken 2 of the air defences out when you've got a bunch of dragons. So just casually cruising through, and the next thing you know, it's game over. Eve gets a nice split on the end with her dragon, so there you go, lovely. Okay, coming up next, we've got back-to-back Eva again. Interesting with kind of centralised air defence. You see this quite a lot at Town Hall 8, and it's works perfectly well as double Zapquake, or if you're feeling like you want to go ground, you could use Valks to take out those air defences, and then just use a bunch of balloons around the outside. So that's there's loads of different options at Town Hall 8, which is quite cool. Town Hall 8 is where the game gets kind of interesting in terms of multiple attack options and funneling and things like that. It's kind of where a lot of the tools that you need at Town Halls 9, 10 and 11 sort of start to come into play. So it's kind of interesting Town Hall from that perspective, and you get a first hero to play with too. So Eve again was just cruising her way casually across the base. That air sweeper is just kind of more for amusement than anything else. It's not really going to do anything to affect the raid, and boom, 3 stars. Lovely attack. Okay, and coming up next, Zimmer, Town Hall 8 on Town Hall 8 action. I think this is an internet base because I've kind of recognised the layout a little bit. So Zimmer just gets the lure. Kind of interesting use of minions in the CC because they're much faster than the dragon, but poses not real too much of a threat. Just drops one of the poisons down a little bit early. Doesn't decide he's not going to bother with trying to kill the dragon under poison, because he can just drop his golem and start the rest of the raid. And again, the Valks run outside the compartment. I think he was originally going to go in, but that's solely because there was no buildings left inside the compartment, so they work their way in through the next compartment along. Still run straight into the core. He's got heals for his Valks. They are taking a bit of damage there from that wizard tower, but he's got an extra heal. They split on him here, but that's no bad thing either, because at this stage the base is pretty much done. His golem is still in there tanking. The enemy Barbarian King's giving him a little bit of grief, but he's got absolutely plenty of troops left over. not going to be any threat at all. And the next thing you know, the base is toast. Lovely attack. That's Valks at Town Hall 8. So there you go. That was the war. Let's have a look. Congrats to Jason for 6-star war. So close, JJ, 94% and a triple. And same with God's Gift, 100% and 97%. We've got loads of people close. We've got Minor with 6-star war, Jib 197, Eva with 6, and a couple of scouts from our guys down the bottom. So congrats again. Stay tuned for the next war. Let me know what you think of the double speed replays. That's always going to be useful. And we'll catch you on the next war. So clash on.